bottom lane push-off if Morphling doesn't get E-Blade and DK Blink Dagger right before Fnatic were able to engage, and maybe some of those item timings caught them a little off guard. But I really like, you know, when you have a team that's had coordination problems, had trouble closing out games, make them keep playing. Give them an opportunity to make mistakes. And Optic did that here. I think that they still got to be feeling at least a little confident going into game 2.
Yeah, they got destroyed in the early stage of the game, and if that wasn't the case, this would have been a game going their way, because that lead that Fnatic got, the fact that they were able to hold on against a lead from Fnatic with over 30k net worth, that is very admirable. They had a really strong showing towards the later stages. Unfortunately, obviously not in the start, but definitely promising going forward.
The problem was that they could not leave the base. They couldn't play Dota. They were just defending the Ancient. Maybe that's actually maybe that's actually playing the game. But I don't know. It feels like Fnatic was just stuck in the base. Oh, sorry, Optic was stuck in the base and just defending. They had a great tools to defend. You have Elder Titan with his Spirit Action, magical reduction. Then you have Rubik with the offensive null field, and there comes the damage. That, I mean, they blow up Terrorblade with 2000 HP with just a shotgun from that extra magic damage.
And the Shadowblade purges at 60 minutes, was it?
The envy giveth and the envy taketh, and he's your MVP. They do manage to close it out. But yeah, what you were saying, the point that you were saying earlier about the Aeon discs, Lacoste, to me typifies so much of the frustrations with Fnatic. You know that they're aware of these strats. I mean, they built 3 Aeon discs in a game against an opposing Tiny that was way out in front and really locked him down in that game. You know that they're capable of executing these strategies, that they're aware of these different variations, and yet it feels in so many of these games like they just kind of keep banging their heads against the wall.
We can go back to the decision making. And in his interview talked about how they need more to listen to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this is all his decision, but they need to man up a little bit and risk something to gain something.
No,
be more decisive, for sure.
I can't say it enough. You know, all 5 players executing a suboptimal strategy will usually beat 5 guys with different ideas, even if those ideas are better. And you know, I just don't think it's fair that we, as funny as it can be, I don't think it's fair that we put it all on Envy.
That's true. It's a team game for a reason. It was a game going the way of Fnatic, though. Despite all the hardships during that game and all the problems that we point out that they might or might not have, they did manage to take that first game off of Optic. There's going to be, obviously, a second game, though, at least maybe even a third, depending on how Optic performs. Before that happens, we are taking a short break. We'll be right back. Optic taking on Fnatic here in the second semi-finals for finals day here at StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational. It is 1-up in favor of Fnatic, and Optic will have the chance of making a comeback here in the second game. It is going to be a tough one. I mean, even if we do just forget about the last 50 minutes or so of that previous game, which was 70 minutes long, it was Fnatic that was ahead the whole time. That was not the way that Optic obviously was planning on having this game go. So how are they going to change their laning stage? Because I think that's where it all started.
But that's why I think I can't recall another 1-0 lead where I've felt as good about the position of the team that's behind, because we've seen Optic make this adjustment. This is exactly where they got tripped up in the second game of their series against Kingwin on Thursday. They made that adjustment, focused their draft in the second game on the laning matchups, and came back and were fine. You start with the lanes, and the rest of the game will unfold as it does.
I think the lanes were all right. Maybe if they played the same matchup, the outcome could have been a bit different in favor of Optic. Maybe we could blame it on the rotations from the supports. If they rotated maybe in a better manner, it could have been a bit different. They pretty much got crushed in all three lanes.
And it was not just, like, you can't really pin it on one hero, right? It was not specifically a drafting.
I think maybe it is a thing that you do as a team. You talk about the lanes, and you talk a little bit about early rotations during the draft. So it might have played a role that at the very end they ended up, I think they were planning on having DK be offlane most of the draft. They ended up shifting Puck into the offlane after the last pick TA to dodge that laning matchup. So maybe that played a role with a little bit of last minute change up in the lanes. But yeah, you need to execute better, as Lacoste was saying.
Yeah, when I mentioned that they should have rotated better, I meant considering the draft they had. I don't feel the draft was bad. I just think the execution was not the best early.
Well, let's see if they can do better this time. We have another Naga Siren on the side of Fnatic. They themselves ban out the Witch Doctor, by the way, and we are kicking things off here with Universe's Beastmaster.
Again, with two Vision heroes opening, Naga Siren is such a hard hero to play against. Position 5 Naga, where she gives the Vision, always have that spell to cancel the fight, provides you the Roche capability, which I personally think it's OP. You should sleep Roshan as well. And Beastmaster with his Vision, Helm of the Dominator, Hawk. It's going to be a tough game to play from Optic. They're going to need a good Vision hero for themselves. Probably, I would say, how they already picked a Tusk on maybe a Night Stalker. Could go to the offlane. It's one of the good heroes to get rid of the enemy Vision.
Yeah, Razor can also have, as a core, some difficulty dealing with these summon strats like we saw from Fnatic last night. And any long game like we saw in the previous set, a hidden factor in that is always that the team that's ahead is having trouble controlling the lane equilibrium. And Beastmaster gives you a lot more control over that as the game goes on. He's an excellent split pusher, lets you make sure that those other lanes are in your favor so that that split pushing morphling isn't always going to force you to make these trades.
They're going to need one more catch hero on the side of Optic. I don't think Tusk will be enough. That's not kind of a reliable stun that I'm looking into. Maybe something like a Disruptor should be all right against Beastmaster, Naga Siren. And this is the hero that we, both teams love to play Visage as well. We didn't see him in game number 1. Gets banned in the second game.
Yeah, and the fact that Optic does not ban out Disruptor is a good sign for them, indeed, picking that hero as well, as you do not want to face that with the Naga Siren combined.
And one of the things Optic may have been thinking about even coming in, they took away the Visage via the ban, but they have to make Fnatic think twice about picking the Lone Druid just because of the presence of the Razor.
I was just about to mention the Lone Druid. That's what Fnatic loves to run, but against the Razor, it's not great hero.
So, previous game we had 6 Roshans, and Optic was not able to get a single one of them, right?
Nope.
So, should they draft something that can deal better with Roshan as well? Should they try to, like, you don't ever, I don't think you ever plan a game to go 70 minutes long, but them having a better shot at taking
maybe
a
they
Roshan.
do when you play against
Maybe,
Eternal
yeah,
Envy.
maybe that, yeah, you want to have that plan B, but you want to also be able to take Roshan, right?
Yeah, but it's gonna be hard to take the Roche. We'll need to take a fight before because of all the vision heroes that Fnatic has already.
And Song.
Hey,
I
that's a
mean,
Roshan hero,
Song
sort of.
is just... Song is the single best ability in the game around the Roche pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underlord is still in the pool. Fnatic is not gonna pick it since they have a Beastmaster as their offlaner, but Optic might.
Very much on the table for Optic, and I would actually like that tempo-wise.
But I think we mentioned that we didn't see 33 play.
No,
the Underlord.
I looked at the drafts, and he actually did play it the other day. Played it on the first day of the tournament, and I think it's one of those heroes that, you know, after you watch DAC, even if it's not your favorite as a pro, you're probably going out and spamming that in pubs. So I think you're going to see a lot of Underlord players in the pro ranks, at least until it gets nerfed in the next patch.
Yeah.
At this point, if you're an offlaner and you can't play Underlord, you're gonna have a problem.
Oh. You're not gonna be on a good team.
No. All right, so Fnatic, they managed to pick up the Vengeful Spirit. We've seen Vengeful earlier this week. They actually got it played against them by Na'Vi.
And it's a flex pick for them. They will run Eternal Envy as a farming Venge in the tri-lane situation, and I like that a lot, especially with the high armor Naga Siren. She's probably one of the better melee heroes in a tri-lane situation. Also gives Beastmaster that 1v1 that most of the time he can excel at.
Maybe they're still considering the Lone Druid pick, just getting the Venge, which can be a carry or a support, and if they build around Lone Druid, I mean, Lone Druid's Bear takes all the damage from the Dead Prophet ulti, but can be easily static linked.
You know who I wish were still a hero? Winter Wyvern. I miss Winter Wyvern against the Aura strats. I always liked that pick, but it's just been so far out of favor.
I don't feel that hero is that weak. It just feels like it's underused because most of the teams just copy what others are doing.
Maybe, yeah. I still think it definitely, like, I actually really like the hero. And the last few times I've played it has felt not quite as imposing as it has in the past. But, you know, Winter's Curse is just such a kind of a fun ability.
Yeah. Later on, that would be really great around the Roche pit as well. Oh. But late game is great as well. But
probably gonna see some
not the flavor of the month.
Rubik's still on the table.
Yes, he is, and we are looking for a PPD hero. We did play Rubik previous game.
As well as you could just kind of looking ahead. Oh, the AA. Okay, nope. The AA got first banned. Yep.
All right, it's a Dazzle.
I was thinking about Dazzle yesterday. I think someone posted on Reddit that he's such a garbage hero, and he's like 1%, has 1% win rate or something like that. But
that's very sad.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got like he's in certain of the skill brackets. He has a 1% pub pick rate or something like that.
Yeah.
He just feels so defensive. The minus armor is nice, but the buff that he got in 7.1.2 was like to one of the worst skills in the game in Poison Touch. It just felt so pointless.
Poison Touch is so good in 2 versus 2 scenarios.
It's true.
If you want to run it, or in 3 versus 3 Dazzle, then it's really strong. But after he gets, let's say, level 3, he's not aggressive at all. He just becomes fully defensive hero, and you don't want to skill more than 1 point in Poison Touch because your other skills are way too good not to have them.
What's the logic in picking it up here? Why does it fit?
Oh, the double save for the Death Prophet.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the Snowball save, you got the Shallow Grave. She's going to get that full duration exorcism off in the middle of the fight, and that's it's not just about keeping her alive. Remember, much of the damage from exorcism comes from Death Prophet's positioning, her ability to stay next to those enemy heroes so that the ghosts can cycle back and forth.
Ooh, Avenge Weave.
Well, speaking of positioning, there you go.
Well, Dazzle with his ulti gives a lot of damage.
Minus armor.
Yeah, from the Dead Prophet, and all of Fnatic's lineup pretty much is based on minus armor and physical damage. Beastmaster, Axis, Venge, and Weaver as well.
Also, what's one of the first things we talked about? Roshan, right?
Yes.
Both of these lineups poised to contest Roshan continuously throughout the match.
That's the problem we see again. If you pick Dazzle that has no control, and you have a Tusk, which is hard to execute against some of the heroes. This is the reason why they picked Weaver. They really have no lockdown. Dead Prophet provides silence and instant puck ban because they have nothing to control him with.
Right.
You kind of have to have something like a Sven on the side of Optic or something, or at least a core with maybe another disable. Sven gives you that armor as well, might help out. But at the same time, he will probably get kited. So there's already a lot that can deal with that. And it's the Brute that Fnatic ends up banning out.
They need a mid hero.
Who?
Fnatic.
Fnatic? Yeah, Fnatic definitely does.
Well, don't have to wait long for that one. It's a Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, again, more minus armor, more synergy with the double auras.
Yeah, and it's one of the best heroes you can get against the Dead Prophet. She wants to be in the range to use the Spirit Siphon and needs to be careful about being triple raised. And
for Fnatic, once you see the Dazzle, you're not nearly as worried about the roaming potential. You know, the Tusk is going to threaten the mid lane somewhat, but Dazzle not a hero that's going to roam. And there you go. Both sides, really, in the last couple picks, the Weaver and the PL, looking at the other and saying not that much on the side of hard lockdown.
Do we like Optic's chances here?
Dazzle and the Phantom Lancer is really good, especially in the mid game once the heal is maxed out with a lot of illusions. The heal bomb deals more than 1,000 damage, if my math is correct. But I think they have good ways to deal with those illusions, with just the Shadow Fiend and Beastmaster. A lot of auras. This is how Fnatic plays. They like to group up as 5, take early Roshans, 1, 2, 3,
or late Roshans,
whatever number you want to get. But I feel the Fnatic lineup is way too good.
All right.
I like Optic here. I think that they've addressed the situation in the lanes. I think that they are going to have a very strong mid game with the ability to contest Roshan, and I just didn't like what I saw from Fnatic in game 1.
Even though they won.
Even though they won.
All right.
Yep.
All right. I will go for Optic as well. I mean, the crowd is behind them. I feel like they've gotten enough motivation from that to maybe force out that third game. If that's going to happen, we're going to find out with Tsunami and OD Pixel.
Thank you, Shiva. Yes, game 2 now between Optic Gaming and Fnatic. And we've seen a bit of a change with the drafts. We are getting to see the Weaver through a hero that we don't really see too much. And then over on the side of Optic, we're going to see the Dazzle, the PPD Dazzle. Something else that is not sort of at the top of the meta at the moment.
No, but on the side of late game potential, with evidently we're bound to reach, Weaver doesn't go as hard as Terrorblade this time. And on the side of Optic Gaming, they've got a Phantom Lancer. So if the game does stretch, God forbid, Optic Gaming are poised to be able to do it better. But Fnatic have proven that they are willing to end games earlier, especially whenever they pick this Beastmaster. Beastmaster, you've got Inner Aura.
Yeah.
There's really no reason not to push. There's no reason to take not to take objectives early on. And Universe is always very, very... he's great at creating imperative that the enemy team is going to have to deal with whatever Beastmaster brings into the laning phase, because Universe is just very, very quick at getting Shadow Blades and causing chaos around the map.
Yeah, this is definitely a game where if we do see Fnatic get a sort of similar early lead as they were able to in game 1, they'll have the tools to sort of end the game earlier. But the question is if they are going to be able to get that advantage. I mean, they do have, looking at it, pretty strong lanes to start off with, but we'll see what sort of matchups end up getting forced by either of the sides.
Also, I don't know if you're listening to Haas, but I want you to tell me how many different heroes Abed has played this entire tournament, because I'm inclined to believe that I haven't seen him play the same hero twice a single time. I think this is the first Shadow Fiend we've seen from him in this tournament. He's played Kunkka, he's played Brood, he's played Visage. He's incredibly versatile, and he's really flexing it during this tournament.
Well, we'll see. It looks like it is going to be pretty standard stuff here from the lanes. Universe will go down towards the bottom on his own, and we'll have to deal with PPD and Pycat. We'll see if he gets much backup at all. It's actually going to be Optic able to claim all 4 bounty runes to start this game.
Game over. That's it. Call next.
About an extra little bit of a gold burst to lead in with, and on top of that as well, PPD gets a D-Warp mid.
I'm curious what Adam was up to. He was sitting around in this Radiant jungle for a little bit, but I guess maybe trying to see where PPD was planning on planting his ward, but ends up finding out the Dire Observer and dealing quite a bit of damage, to be fair.
Yeah, PPD
He's got this Windlace.
Taking quite a punch here, PPD. will be able to get himself back to safety underneath the tier 1 tower bottom. Straight in with a quick heal onto Pycat, ready to try and back up this PL and make sure that Pycat can get the farm against the pressure of Universe's Beastmaster in lane.
Again, it's going to be this physical damage from the axes and the armor reduction from the Riptide lane that worked fairly well in Game 1 with the Pangolier Naga, and now again here in Game 2 with Beastmaster Naga. Though granted, Pycat is going to be able to dispel these debuffs with Doppelganger, but that seems to be the plan, is to just let Adam and Universe lane with each other for a while.
See, the top lane, DJ have to TP himself actually away, as a bit of an attempt was made there by Zion 33. We'll see how much pressure 33 can keep onto the EE Weaver up top. So at the moment, it looks like it's working out. He's got 5 for 4 on 33's Razor on that top lane, and just the 1 CS on MV at the moment.
Yeah, Weaver's a difficult hero to make useful, especially against this Phantom Lancer, because Weaver is primarily a single target type hero. He can build into AoE damage. Occasionally we will see players go for things like Maelstrom, which can be taken advantage of due to the Geminate attack, but it's not very easy to deal damage in a team fight if you're not able to just stay stuck to one target.
I mean, yeah, 33 is having a absolutely amazing time in CS there. He's 9 for 7 against EE's 2 for 0.
Yeah, the other thing...
Oh, mid lane, CCNC.
Raises.
He's getting dove upon Arbed. He's looking for the raise. He's not going to be able to find it.
Ring around the Rosie.
He's hiding CCNC, and he's actually going to be able to live there. As Arbed, he zips in with a haste, but can't quite find the kill. Top lane, bit of an attempt being made onto DJ, and that will be your first blood. They'll now turn towards Envy. Has he got Shikuchi back up anytime
2 more
soon?
seconds.
He does.
1 more second.
He's not going to make it away.
Wow.
The fade time was too long. And Optic, they get both kills out of this top lane. I mean, this Weaver lane is getting absolutely crushed.
Oh my gosh. That is a dream start for a Razor and a Tusk lane. Vengeful Spirit we've been seeing prove to be a fairly dominant laner, but that's always assuming you get an early head start. We've seen Lil run it with General StarLadder, and Na'Vi had a lot of success with it, but this is not the kind of situation you want to be in.
Envy massively struggling against this Zai 33 dual lane. Seems like DJ just can't do enough really to keep the pressure off his Weaver and get the space that Envy needs.
And in the previous series, Adam was pretty intent on sticking around with Universe for the majority of the game, but here he feels obligated to come up to this top lane. I mean, he's hit level 2, he's got Ensnare and Riptide, but 33 is not afraid at all. You may be able to discourage him from going for CS a little bit, but if Naga Siren ever leaves, the kill potential still remains.
Seeing the mid lane at the moment, 22 for 3 on Arbed compared to the 18 for 5 on CCNC. Very, very close between the two, just there. Slight expected lead here for the Shadow Fiend.
DD room picked up by Zai in the mid lane. But he sees Abed, or rather Naga sees Abed. I mean, Naga sees Zai.
Zai will give Adam a bit of a rundown here with the double damage. But DJ is there to make sure that Zai can't go any further. And in fact, they will try and turn, make a bit of a play. Zai does have the snowball, but is going to pop it before the magic missile's there. So DJ does still have the punch to help out. And Arbed, he's going to come in for the glory. Nice turnaround there from Fnatic to punish Zai's movements and get a bit of a bonus for the mid SF.
And Abed's doing quite well in this lane. Already cleared the hump of not having the initial damage against the Death Prophet.
And Universe tried to get aggressive onto PPD. Lycan's going to rush forward with a heal bomb. There's enough burst to stop him from TPing away. Up top, Envy slowly starting to get some more CS out of this lane, but still in the overall picture, as you can see, he is suffering about a third of the CS of Pycat on the other side of the map.
And 2 levels down. Right now 33 is level 5, Envy's level 3 right now.
They're trying to do their best, Fnatic, to recover this lane. As you say, they are keeping DJ and Adam firmly sat up here by the side of Envy.
And that means that PPD is free to go for a rotation on this Shadow Fan. Not the easiest maneuver. Snowball on the top
They're going to get the kill. Straight in. Can they find the return kill, though? Fnatic, they'll look towards 33. He's got the static link off, and in fact, he's looking to try and move it on to Adam. Forces Adam to back off. I mean, again, they're killing this.
He wants it.
He is. He's trying to look for the wraparound behind the tower. Is he going to be able to find it?
One more right click.
Envy is back. And Adam does have a salve. 33 will try for the TP, but the net is there. 33, he's trying to get out of this one, but it looks like he dove just a little bit too far, as Fnatic are able to get quite a valuable kill there. 33 being punished for his greed.
And Envy, luckily, his Swarm Beetle ends up getting the kill, so he gets the gold for that. Unfortunately, well, actually, and a result of him getting the kill, he also gets the experience, so very fortunate for Weaver.
Bottom lane, Pycat continuing to put the pressure in. Universe is getting a similar amount of farm out of this lane as 33 is. But certainly is not able to sort of have the same impact in terms of slowing down the enemy position one, as we can see as Pycat coming up to 7 minutes in, coming up to 50 CS. He's pretty much getting perfect CS on that bottom lane. Top lane, never attempt onto Zai. He's got the snowball. 33 heading forward, looking for the static link onto Adam. He will be held back for a little bit by the magic missile of DJ, but DJ's going to get turned upon. He'll get taken down. Envy does have a Shikuchi to get himself away as PPD comes into the lane to help out. But Optic just making sure that they come out on top of every little fight up here. Zai tries for the shot. Zai is pretty low here. He's trying to fight up against him. He knows he's got PPD's heal, and there is indeed a grave to buy some time for Zai.
He's got 17 6
He does. He can maybe try and turn with this one as he baited Envy forward. They'll look for the easier kill though as they turn towards Adam, surrounding the Naga Siren. Zai gets the heal from PPD. As Optic bait Fnatic into that extra bit of action and ends up in them getting themselves another kill for 33.
Razor's going to be a real problem. And I imagine part of the reason why they picked this Weaver specifically is because they're like, oh, okay, let's pick someone who doesn't really care about static link because we can break it very easily. But you still got to make it through the early game. You still got to stay in lane whenever your Shikuchi has like a fairly long cooldown. And Envy's not level 6 yet, so he can't even afford to play aggressively and try to force the Razor out of lane and then time-lapse to recover. So things are starting out very slowly for him, whereas Pycat is getting a whole hell of a lot on this Phantom Lancer in the bottom lane. 59 last hits, 17 denies.
A much sort of smoother opening for Optic Gaming compared to game one, where Fnatic were able to find the lead early on and were able to maintain it right through to the end. This time round, Optic have been able to answer the lanes of Fnatic, at least specifically in that top lane, having an answer to Envy's Weaver. As we'll have to see how Envy is able to climb his way back into this game on a Weaver that's very underfarmed off the back of the lanes.
Picks up a bottle in the Radiant secret shop on the Weaver, but it's all happening far slower than he would want. And I'm very curious what his build is going to be this game. I had mentioned the Maelstrom. There are a lot of different ways you can go. You can go Medallion, as now Exorcism is popped on the mid lane. You can go Desolator, you can go Diffusal Blade. There are a lot of options. If he wants to go the most defensive, he can go for like Dragonlance Pike, or just the Dragonlance, but we'll see.
TP into the mid lane is coming from DJ. Adam there as well. He's going to throw the route out onto CC&C. It's a very hard target to go on though, as they will immediately back off. Optic are able to continue to push in onto this tier 1. Fortification comes out from Fnatic. And an extra TP now in from Universe. He has the Roar ready. Actually going to pop the Requiem here on the side, Arbed. They've got the magic missile down, but now with the snowball, they'll turn in. Universe does manage to get the Roar onto the Death Prophet. They bursted down one. Can they get CC&C as well?
Oh, the miss.
Uphill miss is going to buy him some chance, but there's the route. They've got themselves both. Universe with the perfect TP rotation, coming in with that level 6. He's now level 7, but he has that Roar. He's able to find that opening, and they time it perfectly as well after the heals kicked in from the Exorcism, and there's not enough save from Optic to keep those two heroes alive.
Yeah, exactly. Right now, Optic were hoping that that whole engagement would have happened like 3 seconds earlier, but great choice of priority of targets. They net not the Death Prophet. They wait for everything to time out. Once the ghosts come back in, Universe comes in and roars them, and 2 kills.
And they do keep that tier 1 tower alive for now. So Optic weren't quite able to finish it off there with that first use of the Exorcism.
And Abed's going to be going for the Blink Yules build. Right now he's got the Yules, already has the Void Stone completed, got the rest of the Yules queued up, and we've been seeing mixed results with this item build. The most common critique is whenever you manage to hit late game, then you oftentimes struggle to be useful, much like how we saw the Templar Assassin in Game 1. As now Fnatic smoke up, and I don't believe it was in vision of this Radiant Ward in the middle of the lane, and they're going to head top. Beastmaster is TPing, and Roar is available.
Let's see what Universe can find. He's looking to open up onto Pycat. Pycat quick with the Doppelganger. Starts to back himself away. Universe is going to look towards a different target. He's found 33. He's got Envy there ready as well to focus down the Razor. 33 pops the Eye of the Storm, pops the stick charges, but surely he can't keep himself alive. As Universe punching him down, chopping him up with these axes, gets the kill, and at the same time, you had Abed coming in and able to find PPD. So again, Fnatic making these smart rotations. Universe leading the charge each and every time and having an incredible impact with these early Primal Roars.
He's having an impact in terms of kills, but the objectives are basically untouched. All these tier 1 towers on the side of Optic Gaming are basically near full HP, and like I said, with Abed going for this Blink Yules build, your late game suffers. Phantom Lancer, far better in the late game compared to any of these Fnatic heroes. And so the movements are great, and the kills are also very effective, but Optic still have a 2k net worth advantage right now.
It has sort of sat at that 2k for quite some time now, though, as Fnatic are able to stop that lead from growing for now. A couple more big pickoffs with the Primal Roar when it's back up. That will help them. In fact, they are going to be able to find PPD on the side. He's got a shallow grave to buy some time for himself. And doesn't even need it, as Adam will back away as soon as 33 heads over on the Razor. Pycat getting the space to finish off that tower, and I believe that is the full Diffusal Blade now complete and on its way towards Pycat's PL.
Envy's kind of lingering down here. Might find the Courier.
One
Shield.
more. He's not going to. He might be able to continue to search for it. See if the Courier micro is going to be enough. Envy chasing.
Dude, Zai, he's kind of baiting the Courier. He's like, if Envy shows up, as Potential Spirit does go down in the top lane to the Diffusal Blade of Pycat. But, I mean, this is a lot of time that Envy is spending not farming, which is understandable. He doesn't really have anywhere safe to farm, as now Adam gets cancelled.
Yep, tries for the TP out. A quick snowball from Zai is there to hold him down.
Exorcism popped. Let's take another tower.
They're getting these objectives at a very good pace here, Optic Gaming. At the same time, Universe will find the space down bottom as he continues to be incredibly farmed on this Beastmaster. Third highest net worth. We saw this really in Game 1 as well on his Pango. Universe is having some very good games of Dota 2 today.
He is, and so is Abed. Abed has been crushing the CS. He's completed the Yules, but the problem is that the game is transitioning in such a way that I'm pretty sure he was ideally going to go for the Blink after completing the Yules, but right now he has BKB queued up. And that's because they have lost 4 towers right now at 13 minutes into the game. Envy has pretty much nothing completed. He has Aquila and Power Treads, and there's nowhere safe for him to farm on the map. Instead, they're giving farm priority to Beastmaster so that Universe can complete the Shadow Blade, and like I said, which he does have completed, and then start creating chaos around the map, try to draw focus away from Envy's farming spots.
33 just pushing Envy away from that area of the map. Do have Optic starting to move over. You had Abed, he was standing on the high ground, seeing if he get a chance for a Requiem for someone to walk into, but it wasn't going to be the case.
Universe bottles an Invis Rune and immediately TPs to the shrine up top. But Pycat's playing it safe. He ends up hiding. And we'll see if Pycat shows himself, because
it would be a big catch for Universe to find yet again. If they do get this PL, he's keeping himself in the trees. And he did, indeed. He's out of there, out to safety. And we'll see if Abed follows with this, but I do sort of like this adaptation to the Yules build. Going for the Yules and then the BKB, rather than the Yules Blink, as
it's less all-in.
It is. It's a less all-in on the flashiness, and you are suddenly able to more reliably offer more if it's a situation where it's not you just jumping in and looking for one quick pick-off, but a situation in which you're fighting against numerous enemies.
Yeah. As CCNC does not have his Yules completed yet on the Death Prophet, and yet they're still going for this push. Exorcism is still down for another 15 seconds, but they're not going to commit for it hard, as the rest of Fnatic, Envy, and Beastmaster are going to claim this tier 1 tower in the offlane.
Yeah, slowly but surely getting Envy involved in these objectives, allowing him to climb back up the net worth, as he is now ahead at that 33 Razor. Razor that was crushing him in the lane. He's made the recovery, Envy.
And poor Beastmaster. Optic are playing so well against this Shadow Blade of the Beastmaster. They're constantly staying grouped up, and whoever is away from the fight, namely Pycat, is playing very, very conservatively. Also, it's hard as hell as a Beastmaster to gank a Phantom Lancer. You basically have to find him like in between doppelgangers as the shards almost catches out Envy.
Yeah, Zai trying for a bit of an ambitious play. Maybe if the shards did catch, he would have had a chance, but still time-lapse was available for Envy if he needed to. And he's able to quickly Shakuchi himself up out of the distance of Optic Gaming's initiation.
The panel had mentioned that early Roches would be valuable for Fnatic, but they compromised so much map control that really Optic Gaming are in a much better position to take Roche, which they're going to smoke up now. And they know that there are some dire heroes on the bot side as now. Smoke pops on Zai, he finds Adam.
Oh, Adam. He's got the song. Those shards are going to hold him in. He'll go for the TP out. He's going to make it in time. He is. Just enough time, the duration of that song after being initially stunned, to get himself out of there.
In the top. One more attack, and he gets it.
Pycat. He's going to look to try and punch back in.
On bot lane, 33.
Universe.
Roared.
Yeah, finding that raw target.
All right, things are happening. You're spreading Optic Gaming out, and that's what you need to do if you're Fnatic.
Yeah, they're evening the playing field, even as we can see, 8 for 7. 17 minutes in, just less than a 1K lead hit for Fnatic.
Oh, Universe goes for the TP, and they don't have any cancel at the Yules.
They do. CCSC's got it out on him now. They'll hold Universe down. And we'll be able to find another kill for Pycat, keeping him just at the top of the net worth on his PL here. But already just a much closer game than game one in terms of the numbers, at least, as both teams are showing us they have these methods of pushing and getting these pickoffs. But definitely the most important thing, as it seems, is overall that there is this sort of recovery being made by Fnatic, where MV is finding the space. He's starting to catch him in farm modes. There's still a long way for him to go in terms of catching up to Pycat's farm on the PL.
Yeah.
But he isn't sort of as in a dire of a state as he was in the early laning stage.
No, definitely not. Although the one big advantage of Fnatic would have been an early Roche. Optic are going to claim it first.
Fnatic, I do have illusions there, and oh no, it's on for sure, but
Naga's
no
song
way
is
of getting
still
over.
down. Otherwise, I think they may have gone for it, but Adam had to use it to save himself from that ancient attempt.
And the build from CCC will be the Yules into the Blink Dagger by the looks of it, as he does have the money to pick up that Blink Dagger. And almost certainly just waiting once again for the Exorcism to be back up, and then we'll see Optic try to pressure another tier 2 tower. Keep that momentum going against Fnatic's lineup, making sure that Fnatic themselves don't get a chance to really step things up with the push that Universe's Beastmaster is going to be soon able to offer to even more, as he's starting to build into those Necro books.
And in this situation, it may be more split push oriented. I think despite Abed going for this early BKB, I think it's more like a contingency thing. I don't think Shadow Fiend is going to finish off this BKB and then immediately want to join into 5-man team fights. If Universe finds a roar target, then Abed will join in. But the 5-man from Optic Gaming is just far stronger. You've got Save with the Snowball on Tusk and the Grave on Dazzle, and Weave is just very, very difficult for a Weaver to deal with. And still, Envy has not yet completed any major item. He's working his way to that Lincoln Sphere and has the money for the ultimate orb, but we'll still have to finish off the recipe afterwards.
We'll see what they find with this smoke. They're back up behind Envy, sort of hoping for a bit of a bait play from the side of Optic, but Optic, they have no interest in heading up towards Envy at the moment. They themselves just looking to prime themselves for pushing out potentially this bottom lane.
Yeah, they've had minimal interest in Envy ever since the laning phase, which I think is the perfect way to take it. Envy is playing in such a way that he's like, hey guys, look at me. I'm farming in your secret shop. Oh, you gotta stop me. And Optic's like, it doesn't really matter. You're fine. You can do whatever you want. We shut you down hard enough in the laning phase that we know it's gonna take you forever before you actually feel confident joining into the game.
Interesting here that Pycat is queuing up the Silver's Edge after the Diffusal and SMY on the PL.
Yeah, there are a few things you can break. The presence of the Dark Lord on the Shadow Fiend, the Inner Beast on the Beastmaster, and then if you manage to kill off the Venge, she won't be able to summon Vengeance Aura if you kill her during the break.
That could be actually quite annoying, yeah. That is true.
Also, it's a pretty solid split pushing item.
Yeah.
Phantom Lancer has kind of fallen off the map in terms of like the old days of picking up Diffusal or Radiance and just split pushing a lane for years, but he's still very, very strong at it with the right itemization.
Now comes the push from Optic. On the bottom lane, committing with the Exorcism. They've got the boosted armor. From Dazzle, quick swap play is attempted by DJ, but DJ just gets turned upon. Ripped to pieces straight away by Optic's lineup.
Very quick blink reaction from CCNC. He read that for sure.
And that's going to be a tier 3, and the React's in trouble. It's 21 minutes in, Optic.
See, now this is how you push. This is how you take objectives. This is how you spend high cooldown spells like Exorcism. Age is still preserved, and a whole lot of focus drawn, but Fnatic want to do something. They didn't all come here for nothing.
They are looking to strike back off the back of the Exorcism wearing off. See what sort of target Universe can find. He's found CCNC. They're going to go for the Song. They are trying to go for the Song into Requiem, but again, I mean, CCNC's just going to be able to blink out of there. They will be able to continue to chase, but he's pretty speedy with the phasing Yules. Are they not even going to get this kill?
That was definitely a mistake.
Oh, they're not going to get it.
Envy should have been Sakuchi'd underneath the Death Prophet to make sure that she couldn't blink out. She doesn't have any raindrops or anything, but...
Oh my goodness.
And now she has a Yules. She can cancel out Abed.
I mean, she's jumping forward. CCNC. He's looking to go in, but now Abed's got the BKB in the
Snowball
arm. Oh, CCNC the save. The Snowball's going to buy him some time. They're trying to chase. Looks like the route will stop Dazzle from getting close enough to get the Grave off. He'll turn towards Zai. Can Fnatic get more out of this? They've lost the Naga Siren, but Envy, he's bringing them low. They'll be able to get Zai. They've found 2 out of this. The swap's there onto 33. 33's got the static link onto DJ, but Universe comes back in. They're looking to bring down this race, and they will. They'll find themselves at 30. Fnatic, Pycat's focusing DJ. Can Pycat clean up?
He's still got Aegis.
He's looking towards Universe. Universe goes for the TP out, but the that heal bomb. My goodness, he's going to set up for a triple kill for Pycat. He's not done yet, potentially. He'll doppelganger himself down. Can Envy and Abed finish off this kill? They can.
That's number 1. Can he do number 2?
That's the question. He's got none of his teammates alive, Pycat. He's looking to play around with Abed. He's jumping forward aggressively with the doppelganger. He's got the Diffusal Blade. So Abed's in trouble. Abed has been taken out, and Pycat, I mean, at the end of that, he is going to be over the moon. He got 4 kills, then he died, and then he got another kill.
I mean, he got 682 gold just from killing the Shadow Fiend. What a way to spend your Aegis.
I mean, it all looked like it was going to go perfectly for Fnatic. They got themselves in at the start. They were able to sort of remain elusive with Envy, Shakuchiing about, keeping the distance. But at the end of the day, Optic, even though, I mean, at the start of that fight, they pretty much, they lost everyone. Everybody died on Optic if you count the Aegis on Pycat.
Right.
And now suddenly they're straight back in. They're the ones pushing back into the base of Fnatic. And there's no,
dead.
Yeah, for 20 seconds. So it's going to be at least another tier 3 gone. With the Exorcism up, they may be even able to push for more Optic.
Yeah, and when he comes back, he's not going to have very many souls. Exorcism still has time left on it, 12 seconds.
Being a little careful now, 5 seconds until the SF's back in.
Beastmaster does have Roar.
DJ actually tried for the TP out, but Pycat's just going to run into him and kill him. DJ has to buy back. It's going to be the jump forward, Abed looking for the Yule setup. Shards won't catch onto Abed. He looks towards 33 with the raises, but straight away again, they focus him down. They take down Envy. Envy buys back time, lapses into the middle of the fight, looks towards 33. Abed puts the Requiem. Will hold Optic back, but again, Optic, they're not losing anyone off the back of this. This is 2 buybacks from Fnatic.
You don't buy back for giggles, you buy back for kills.
Abed's trying to get in with the raises, but again, the heal from PPD onto 5, keeping Optic topped up. That's sustained, buying extra save. 33 does get swapped in, they've got the stun. Graves going to be there, 33 going for the TP out. They got any way to cancel it, they have. The route's there from Adam. They'll at least be able to find 33 on his Razor. Can they get more? The rest of Optic retreating. Quick blink out from Zai will keep the distance, and Optic, they get away with it. They weren't quite able to finish off that mid-melee racks.
No.
But again, just being able to keep themselves ahead of Fnatic in these fights.
2 buybacks, man, one on the Weaver, one on the Vengeful Spirit, and these are expensive buybacks. We know that DJ likes to play very, very farm-oriented. He's got the medallion completed on this Vengeful Spirit, but just being able to kill the Razor out of that is not nearly enough because they can't claim any objectives afterwards either. So you bought back, you didn't really win the team fight, and you're not going to be able to push anything. You're not going to be able to take any Roches. It's very, very difficult right now for Fnatic to make use of these heroes. Like Abed, the BKB was absolutely necessary, as you can see after that Eul's, but now you're wondering what the hell is the Eul's really doing right now? He's got the Blink completed now, though, so he's got the full combo potential. And Phantom Lancer is not really a BKB builder, so if you manage to blow him up, it would be great. It worked very well on CCNC. Zai attempted for that snowball save. I don't know if like Zai was like spam right-clicking, but I mean that's one of the first times I've ever seen that attempt to save a target who's getting comboed by Shadow Fiend like that. So I don't know if it's even possible or not. But whatever the case, like you will have tools to prevent that combo from going off, as now 33 is working his way to his BKB on the Razor.
Yeah, CCNC has Eon Disc now complete as well, so that extra bit of save if the sort of burst play is attempted.
Right.
A 5k lead for Optic Gaming at the moment. Highcap still very much the top of this net worth again, farming his heart out.
And Roche has a respawn time of 5 seconds. And Fnatic are grouping up, making sure there's no vision inside of their jungle. And they have a smoke on DJ. There's a ton of sentry wards in the side of Dire.
Yeah, they've also got the level 3 Necro book on Universe as well.
And they smoke up. Roche is up.
Oh,
Don't know if either team knows.
Optic Gaming know that this movement's coming in. The scan connects. They know that something's heading over.
I got Shadow Blades away.
And with that, Fnatic, they will reveal Envy.
They think Envy's alone.
BKB is now on 33. They're going to use the song here. Trying to set things up. The Roar on the side. They're trying for the burst, but again, the snowball save. It's going to buy some time here for 33 to pop the BKB. Tries to stand in, but look at the right click's coming out. 33 falling over the Shadow Graves there in time. Buying some save for him. He tries with the TP with the root. It's there to hold him down. 33 in trouble and will lose his life. Fnatic find one. They get the swap back onto PPD, but the armor's starting to build up here for PPD. The buyback's there from Zaya. Wants to get involved in this fight, but Pycat, he's the one cleaning up, moving from target to target now. Godlike on his Phantom Lancer as he takes down DJ as well. Looking towards Envy. Envy trying to secure your way. He does have time-lapse available if needed. He's into the trees. He should be fine as he bottles himself up and can keep the distance. So this time around, it is, well, Optic, they do expend the buyback on Zai. That was a fight where they did use the Exorcism, and it wasn't necessarily a clean win for Optic. Fnatic were able to get those kills in return. They were able to bring down 33 despite the attempt to save him with the Grave, with his BKB. They can still punch through that Razor.
Yeah, and they can also punch through Roche on the side of Optic Gaming even without that Exorcism. It's going to take a while, and Beastmaster is up.
And V has been silenced. There won't be any sort of further lockdown to hold him down. But yeah, as you say, so the buyback from Zion such that fight as a whole, not necessarily amazing for Optic. If anything, you could argue Fnatic would come out top, but with the Roche going the way of Optic as well, the overall play works out, because well, this is the second Roche?
Yeah, it has cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I would say that's pretty heavily in favor of the side of Optic, because Pycat just continues to not die. And, like, Phantom Lancer is going to outcarry everyone on the side of Fnatic. Abed has basically been relegated to a Requiem machine, because I imagine that they sang, and then Abed was clicking on everyone. He was just like, well, I can't kill Razor, because he's going to have a BKB. I can't kill the Death Prophet, because she has an Eon Disc, and then they ended up roaring, I believe it was either the Dazzle or the Tusk. It was the Dazzle, because Tusk ended up saving the Dazzle. And, I mean, it's just too difficult to find someone to solo down with this Requiem combo.
I see the movement being made here from Fnatic to leave the base. Come in with a wrap around. This could be hard, though. The Aegis and Cheese in the hands of Optic. Aegis on Pycat. CCNC, he has got the Ghost. Yeah. Can Fnatic find a quick pick off to begin the fight? DJ looking for a swap target. He's going to find CCNC, but straight away the Eul's up into the air is there. CCNC will be able to buy himself time, comes down, gets picked up in the snowball. Zai tries to take him towards Universe, but Universe keeps the distance, tries to have the silences there from CCNC, but here's the song. There's 3 heroes here. Can they find the combo? Meteor Hammer and Abed in the midst of it. Have they got the timing? It's not kind of perfect, but it might still just work. They'll look towards CCNC. 33's been robbed, but he has the grave. PPD will save him. And Pycat, he's moving from target to target. He's taken down DJ. He's taken down Envy. They've lost Universe as well. They tried for the combo there, Fnatic. It didn't quite work out. Optic Gaming are able to keep themselves alive, and Pycat is just a nightmare to deal with at this stage. This PL, just target to target, ripping them to pieces. 3 heroes dead on Fnatic, no buyback available, and GG will be called. We're going to a game 3.
It could have been amazing, but recently it was patched out that you couldn't instantly Meteor Hammer someone after the song. They will be able to BKB in between. Eon Disc would have been guaranteed to go off, and this is the problem with the combo of Shadow Fiend. You're very, very one-dimensional, and if you're not able to utilize the entire combo, then it's a whole bunch of net worth that's doing pretty much nothing on the side of a Shadow Fiend, and Weaver was just so far behind that there's no way that Envy could have done any amount of damage to recover that.
No, absolutely, yeah. But considering the fact he's playing against this Dazzle, you know, PPD consistently keeping the armor built up with the ultimate. Some fantastic saves from Zai. And Pycat, again, just these really solid carry performances. His PL just uncontrollable, really, that game. Despite, you know, we saw Universe have a very good opening. He got this fantastic timing on the Shadow Blade, made some very high impact rotations with the Roar early on, but it just wasn't enough to sort of propel Fnatic to the point where they're able to just deal with the overall lineup of Optic Gaming. Yeah,
it's to an extent, it's almost kind of easy to read Optic Gaming. Like, you always know what type of hero Pycat's going to play. He's going to play some hero that hits creeps for a very long time. It's like hits Lunas, his Morphlings, his Phantom Lancers, his Terrorblades. But the way that Optic Gaming itemize is always the special sauce that makes it so difficult to be able to take advantage of these predictions of heroes.
Wow. Here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting a game 3.
At least this one was kind of short.
Out of these two teams,
31 minutes.
It was a bit of a change up in pace, and I mean, just sort of looking forward to game 3. What do you think Fnatic can take away from that game and sort of say to themselves, this didn't work out?
Give Envy a more stable laner, because I think 33 will abuse Envy if given the proper matchup. And this one, like, the Weaver matchup, in theory, I thought is what they were going for with the Weaver. They were like, oh, okay, well, we can break the static link. It's going to be okay. But it ended up being given to 33, and Weaver was just never allowed to enter the game.
No, not at all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, game 3 between Optic Gaming and Fnatic will be right round the corner. Don't go anywhere, though, because we are going to head you back to the panel for some post-game 2 analysis.
Yes, Optic indeed forced out that third game there by taking the victory against Fnatic. It is 1-1 here in the semi-finals, the second semi-finals even. VGJ Thunder is already waiting for their opponent, and at this point, Optic is making a great case for themselves to join them there, because Fnatic, I don't know, it seemed like that 17-minute game before this one kind of wore them down a little bit, Naz.
Yeah, I think that such a marked contrast between games 1 and game 2, where Fnatic have this gigantic net worth lead in game 1. Optic never really had that big a lead in that game, but were applying continuous pressure to objectives around the map. It felt like Universe was really farmed early, but once they knocked Abed out of that pure caster build on the SF, there was really no follow-up to the Beastmaster Aurora to threaten heroes on the side of Optic.
Yeah, Pycat had a field day as well across.
Yeah, I said before this series even started that Pycat's performance has been pretty amazing throughout the past 3 months, and he's showing it that he's not gonna play any bad games. I think he died he didn't even die this game. I mean, he had the Dazzle behind him, so that's one way not to die, but his positioning and itemization was on point, getting that Shadow Blade and SNY after just a tank up, and they can't really kill him. I probably underestimated the lineup of Fnatic and how good of Phantom Lancer game this is gonna be. Also, I gotta give credit to CCNC about his itemization, Eon Disc, just to keep him alive. So you can't really focus anyone. They have 2 saves, you have a Snowball, you have a Shallow Grave, Eon Disc, Doppelganger, not enough damage to take them down. Maybe their top lane could have been played a bit better with the Ruby and Weaver, and
Oh, it's tough.
yeah, that
Yeah.
is really tough. Like you couldn't really feel the influence of the Weaver. He was trying to crip skip the waves, get some split push going on.
Yeah.
But the problem is that when
Exactly
you have a
when you're talking about.
when you have a Beastmaster who goes for a Shadow Blade, then you already have one Invis hero. Once they group up, you're gonna have a hard time initiating those fights. Yes, it's good for the pick-off on the side lane, it's good for the split pushing, but I'm not ever a big fan of two Invis heroes.
Yeah, I think the common denominator really between the two games is the opponent
Also,
underestimating
huge
the
mistake
strength
here.
of the two. But yeah, the 2-1-2 set that should have been a roar and probably a kill there. But the side lanes were just tremendously strong from Optic, and you could see Fnatic didn't really have any moves to make in the early games to stabilize those lanes.
Yeah, Wenge is not a strong support on the lane. You need to make a rotation with position 4 hero to actually get the kills. Naga didn't really feel the influence, and she was not on the top lane at the start.
This is the only time Pyke
went-
died, by
yeah.
the way. But he has an Aegis, so it doesn't really matter. And he managed to get a
That-
kill
that
off the back
counts,
of it
yep.
as well.
Yeah,
Such a crazy fight this was.
Yeah, and look at this. I
should have
keep coming back to this 1K. That's the net worth lead of Optic at this point. They are fighting on even net worth, but because the Weaver takes so long to get to his Lincolns, he doesn't have any damage at this point.
Well, they did good with the sieging tier 3 tower with the Dead Prophet ulti, and they're not afraid using Doppelganger just to provide them vision in the fights and for extra tower damage. And Pycat positioning was extremely well. Also that siege at tier 3, the swap into, I don't know what that was supposed to be, not the best, which led into losing the Raxes. I mean, I guess they were just trying to zone out, kill one hero with the roar, but they don't have enough burst damage. Dazzle, if he's positioned well, he's gonna keep casting those graves, and nothing's gonna happen. You're definitely losing those fights.
Tsunami mentioned the special sauce of Optic was itemization.
Yeah.
Would you-
I
would you
think
agree
saw
there?
that. He also mentioned, by the way, a little shout out to him, good catch on the versatility of Abed. That was his 10th different hero in 10 games here at the event. So the young player really showing it off. But can you argue with this? Absolutely not. Yeah, the more I think about this, we talked a little bit earlier about how Fnatic has been putting DJ on these more 5-position heroes like the Witch Doctor, like the Warlock that we've seen him on, like the Vengeful Spirit in this game, that scale with items.
Yes.
But as a result, he's very static in the early game. He's scaling with items as the game goes on, and he's looking impressive in the mid game, but he doesn't really have these moves that he can make in the mid game, in the early game, like he did when they were having him on a roaming Tusk. And that's making Fnatic feel much more passive in the laning stage.
Yeah, I feel like Tusk is his best hero, and they should use him, given that initiator, that controlling team fight hero that has a save, sanking with the 4-staff fuel scepter. He knows how to use the items and sees pretty much the whole fight.
So was this a drafting error, laning error, outplayed?
I
What's the
think
verdict?
I think the Weaver pick was a bit of a misstep. I think they overestimated how well Weaver was going to be able to do in lanes, and I do feel like they need to give DJ a playmaker, not just a playmaker when he gets an Aghanim Scepter or a Blink Dagger, but a playmaker that he can influence the game, start influencing the game from minute 0.
Would you consider the Witch Doctor to be playmaker then, like the
No.
one that he had in? Because
No.
so you want them to switch back, basically.
I want to see them go back, unless I think it's fine to put DJ on a more static laning support when you have the core matchup advantages in at least 2 out of the 3 lanes. But when you're not as confident in your lanes, or when you think you're going to break even in the lanes, I want to see DJ on a hero that can affect the balance of power early.
All right, well, let's see who's going to affect the balance of power in game number 3. But before we head to that 3rd game, we will have a short break. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back to StarLadder ImbaTV Invitational Finals Day here in Kiev in the Cybersport Arena. We already have one finalist, we just need one more. Is it going to be Optic? Is it going to be Fnatic? We'll find out here in this third game as we are in the second semifinals here with Nahaz and Lacoste, and we are ready for some awesome dotes. I think we're going to see things a little bit changing here, at least for Fnatic. When we saw them with their backs against the wall yesterday, they pulled out a quick one, Lacoste. So perhaps this time they'll make sure that we end before 30 minutes in the game.
Yeah, but they love to play third game in BO3,
they
definitely.
Do. They do.
Yeah, they should maybe, I probably underestimated the draft from Optic Gaming, maybe underlooked some of the things, but Fnatic needs a better draft. I said I preferred their draft, I was wrong. I'm not afraid to say when I was wrong, but they need to draft better lanes, and I still feel that they need to give DJ a hero to be a playmaking hero.
As the sort of the marked contrast, a guy that we haven't talked a lot about for Optic has been Zai, who's been quietly magnificent in this series. He was in 15 assists. He was in on 17 of the 21 Optic kills in that game too. And when you talk about a guy that can just alter the balance of power, either by rotating across lanes or just by staying at the side of that 33 Razor top and bullying with some clutch snowball saves as the game goes on, he had a really huge impact there.
Yeah, we have also criticized CCNC a lot this tournament because it seems to be all eyes on him in terms of Optic and their performance as a whole in this season. And previous game went quite okay. He had a little bit of a rough start in the lane, but he recovered quite good.
I think he's done. I actually think he's done very well at this event. He's been kind of the lightning rod for this Optic roster that a lot of people felt has underachieved throughout the season. But like I said, I thought he really kind of found his footing at this event when they put him on that Lina in the third game of the first series on their first series on Thursday, and I feel like he's been a positive presence for the team ever since.
I mean, his Lina is phenomenal. I wouldn't be unhappy to see it perform here again. It is one of those heroes that can normally only be 5th pick though, so.
One of the reasons that CCNC is playing good right now is that he finally found the form and is playing around the team. Usually he's like a pub star, loves to play those flashy heroes and wants to make a lot of space, goes in solo action. So maybe that's PPD that kind of tamed him and making him more of a team-oriented player.
Yeah, whatever it's been, it's always, you know, I've heard that over and over about him. He has that reputation among so many people in the Dota scene. But if you actually talk to the guy, he's kind of on the quieter side. He's a very cerebral dude, extremely intelligent, and a lot of game knowledge. So it just feels like it's taken a while for that game knowledge to really express itself in his play.
Yeah, and when PPD was questioned in the interview as well, he would rather have someone with good mechanical skill and Dota knowledge that has a bit of an ego compared to anything else, so that he can mold it basically.
Well, that's maybe Peter speaking from experience. I don't know.
Well, you need to have that captain or a coach that everyone has high, what's the word?
Respect for.
Respect. That's right.
Yes.
That's the word. They need to respect them, and then their ego is not gonna be that big. They need a voice. Pango from Fnatic.
Feels like we've seen this before. The Rubik first pick and by design or just because the game has gone on so long, and the ability of the Doom to just take one hero out of the equation is always.
They need some tower damage, some team fight oriented.
Equilibrium anymore. It doesn't fit into Fnatic's lineup anyway.
The storm ban.
Do
Yeah.
they want to go for my storm?
For, but I think you pick DP or Dragon down here and just win the game. And just play straight up. No fancy play required.
Kiss cam, go.
I mean, hey, dude, that's a guy and a gal at a Dota event that, like, the gal looks like she's like really into the draft.
She
I
was
like
explaining Dota to him.
I want to meet this woman.
That's what I understood.
I'm just
from
kidding,
that.
honey.
There's the Lena.
There is the Lena. All right, perfect. That's nice. That feels good, man.
It does. A very comfortable draft, I think. I think Optic is very happy with this.
I think on paper and the Abed Kunkka, now it's got to be said. Abed dumpstered Dendy's Lina
Yes.
in a game the other day. They are very confident in playing this lane. We are going to see CCNC first couple quick waves. You're going to find out really quickly whether Abed really is this good at the matchup.
Yeah, he played a phenomenal Kunkka in that specific game.
I love Optic's lineup. It feels that Fnatic lineup is so squishy.
Yeah.
They have nothing to start a fight with besides X-Mark or just using the song. Pretty hard lineup to execute.
All right, so you're going for Optic.
Yes.
Everything Lacoste said, Optic.
All right, I think we got 3 going the way of Optic here. I think Fnatic has a say in it too, though. Don't worry, they definitely
Don't
have a
leave me
shot here.
hanging.
What?
No,
I don't
there
see that,
you
dude.
go.
Like, I can't see that. All right, let's get over to our commentary team.
Thank you very much, Sheev. And indeed, game 3 now between Optic Gaming and Fnatic. And we've got some more big shows coming out for this one. We have the Abed Kunkka and we have the CCNC Lina. Some exciting finishes to a draft that already sort of had some heroes come through that we don't normally see, or haven't seen for a while. Like the Keeper of the Light is coming back in this game. A hero that's sort of been forgotten in a lot of the drafts at this LAN.
Yeah, and Optic's drafts, I think the slight pattern that I've recognized is for the first 2 games of a best of 3, CCNC is not allowed to play Dota. You're going to give him a Razor, you're going to give him a DK, you're going to give him a Death Prophet, and he's just going to sit there and take it. And then in game 3, they unmuzzle him, and they're like, okay, fine, you've had to play a whole bunch of boring stuff, but we're going to let you play flashy this time. And so they give him the Lina this time. He already paid his dues on the DK in game 1, in a grueling match. Game 2, he did very well on the Death Prophet, and now Game 3, he's going to be on this Lina up against the Kunkka Abed, the only hero that they have yet to repeat on Abed during this tournament.
And that's sort of the discussion was going, you know, a lot of focus on that matchup in the mid lane. I mean, what do you sort of expect to see out of the matchup between these 2 players on these 2 heroes? Who do you expect to come out on top in this sort of head-to-head?
I think Optic Gaming are going to be more willing to rotate to the mid lane than Na'Vi were with their Lina. Most of the time with Dendy's Lina, they were only willing to show up whenever Lina was like about to die. Whereas against Abed, I think if you're like, maybe not the Keeper, but the Rubik is going to be probably making a handful of rotations down to the mid lane, I imagine, to make sure that it's not as free as Tidebringer oftentimes makes it.
Let's have a look. Of course, everything on the line here for this game 3. Both teams fighting for a spot in the grand finals against VGJ Thunder. Let's see who is going to be able to take it. Looking for those runes, DJ. We'll be able to grab the one down bottom this time around. We'll get this even split. Of course, last game where we saw Optic get the lead, they did take all 4. So this time we're back to an even playing ground.
I like the approach that Optic is making with giving Zai a kind of non-roam oriented hero. We were pointing a finger at Fnatic in pretty much all their series this game, which is saying like, so DJ's been relegated to more of a support, and Adam is also kind of a support. Neither of these heroes that are often drafted for these players are really exceptional at roaming. Whenever we're seeing like these Naga Sirens and whatnot, it's usually in a 2-1-2 matchup all day long. And it did really well for Fnatic in game 1, this Pangolier Naga Siren duel matchup, and we'll see if they can do as well against a Gyrocopter.
Talking about strong dual lanes, the Beastmaster Keeper of the Light.
This is, according to Winter, the hardest dual lane in the game.
It certainly gets pretty obnoxious once the levels are there, so that 33 can continue to stack up the debuffs from the axes, continue the spam. So we'll see how Fnatic can deal with that pressure.
Who just popped a salve? I heard a salve. Oh, it was in the mid lane. Okay, yeah, I keep forgetting that I see your camera. Yeah, so we'll see how CCNC is able to fare here. Right now, Adam is rotating on him.
He is.
Which is uncharacteristic, but might work as the torrent.
They've got the connection perfectly done there. I don't know if they'll quite be able to finish off this kill, but nonetheless, a bit of harassment onto CCNC forces him to pop his salve. And we'll get a bit of space for Abed to take a little bit of control back from the creep wave, but overall, CCNC coming out on top on these first few waves.
You kind of need to play it in a... Your job as Lina is just to get CS. You get a few levels in your spells. I'm actually kind of surprised that he's going for points in Fiery Soul, but I'm sure he knows this matchup far better than me. But you kind of got to hit and run. You clear out the creep wave, maybe go over to the jungle, and just make sure that Kunkka can't land Tidebringers on you all day. Is he going to land another torrent in the mid lane? But just for harasses. 33 zones out DJ.
Giving him quite a bit of a rundown. I mean, DJ was heading towards that middle lane. So in a bit of an awkward
They
position.
chase him all the way here, and he's like, you guys want to do a gank? Because I'm in the mid lane.
They've got Adam leading in. And with the three of them here, they should have a pretty good job at taking CCNC down. The combo comes through. And I mean, they knew that DJ was in the neighborhood, but CCNC... Three returns to the lane. Envy, he's got 10 for 4 against the 8 for 2, so still CSing pretty well despite the aggression of this dual lane with the Beastmaster and Keeper of the Light. Middle lane, Abed heading back for a quick refuel. With the X mark, and even though CCNC was taken down the once, still doing okay in terms of CS against Abed's Kunkka. 18 for 3 against the 11 for 1. He does have that lead still.
And both the carries are looking pretty neck and neck as well. Envy, despite being against what is supposedly, like, those Winter's words, not mine, that this is one of the hardest dual lanes. And I can see the potential, like you said, once Chakra Magic is up and running, which Zai has 2 points in it, and Snare on the courier.
He's trying for it there, but that protection will be enough to get it out. Not quite enough right click really on the Naga Siren to take down a courier at this stage of the game, even with the net. And PPD also there just to make sure that the Naga Siren can't get too close to his gyrocopter. Pycat heading over, we'll be able to make sure that they get to the 2 bounty runes from top. Optic. And Zai actually quite a haste rune here. We'll be able to keep the distance to make sure the Cold Feet doesn't proc. Doesn't look like he wants to stick around and continue to man fight DJ. As we'll head straight down towards the bottom, give 33 a bit of a top up in mana.
Now there's another rotation coming in on the mid lane. This time AA is going to teleport, and Adam shows himself, gets a pretty deep in Snare.
I mean, they know that they can get the tornado, but indeed he's going under the tower for this one, and PPD just TP's in. And with the help of the Rubik, CCNC is able to turn around and get the kill. You've seen Adam do this before, where he makes these overly aggressive plays underneath the tower. And that one does cost him his life.
Yeah, I was pretty optimistic. That's the kind of play you make if AA is like level 6 or something like that, and you can get an Ice Blast afterwards, but not at this stage of the game.
It felt like either way, he was not getting out alive from that situation.
No way.
A very, very deep dive there from Adam.
And now that points are up in Tidebringer, you see CCNC is playing very back, but that's the way it should be done. The creeps are eventually going to come to him, and that's all that really matters at the end. You're going to get CS, you're going to get experience, but you're not going to zone out Kunkka. And Adam going for another attempt. This is the most I've ever seen him move around.
Let's see if he can get away with it. He knows that he's been sort of spotted, so back away. Can he find the opening onto CCNC?
He hasn't spotted yet. Yeah, CCNC does not suspect it. But he knows that Naga Siren has not really shown up back to the top lane. It's just Universe. And Adam's now going to TP to the bot lane.
See if they can kick anything off.
I mean, Envy's got 3 points in rage. He's doing fairly well here.
They're going to turn straight away towards 33. They've got the net into the Cold Feet. That'll be enough to stun 33 up and take him down. The rotation from Adam a success. Opening up this bottom lane, making sure that Envy can continue to farm. Mid lane CCNC getting very low. It's going to be the backup here from PPD as he looks towards Abed. Abed tries for the X mark and the Tidebringer hit, but CCNC will be able to keep the distance. Will be able to live for now.
And Shrine's up top, so he'll hit that up. And he's doing exceptionally well. Like, initially I was skeptical about the matchup whenever I saw Abed versus Dendi, and I guess that's just chalked up to Abed being mechanically superior to Dendi in this particular matchup, and so it is not nearly that case here. And so if Fnatic were drafting this for Abed with the intention that it would be able to just dumpster Lina, that has not gone according to plan.
A wrap around on the bottom lane coming in as Adam looking for a target. Will turn towards 33. Again with the setup there, the root. Surrounding 33, looking for those body blocks as well. Adam will make sure that Envy gets himself involved in another kill on this bottom lane.
Yo, I'm super impressed with Adam this game. I don't even care that he died underneath the tower that time. This is like newbie style. It's now mid lane, Laguna Blade.
Can they quite finish it? He's got the one charges.
Whoa.
He's going to survive Abed.
Doesn't even go for the bow. That's Nerves of Steel. He knew his limits.
It's very tanky Kunkka, of course, early on, able to withstand the burst.
Shout out to 4.6 magic resistance that he has, thanks to strength. That's 7.13 right there.
3-for-1 Adam back towards the mid lane. He's going to look to just soak up some of this XP and farm whilst Arbed is out of the lane. Oh, CS. He's got this one. There we go. So an extra bit of money.
Not as much as what Optic are getting right now. Zai and 33 have been stacking this hard camp in the bottom lane and just down shredded it with Wild Axes and Illuminate. So Beastmaster about to hit level 6. Caudle level 4.5 right now. Despite not going for very many rotations, Optic Gaming in this offlane are doing very, very well. Now Beastmaster's 6, so Envy may need to be careful. He's already got 3 stacks of axes on him. And 33 wants a 4th, and he gets it. No, 5th. Both of the axes connect.
Hunts once more, but Envy able to keep himself behind the tower. They have managed to clear out all those trees, though, so they do have a
This feels weird.
Good amount of information in terms of what's going on around that tier 1 tower.
Can go.
Universe is going to get the chance of rolling footer before the missile hits. He will. So he'll be able to roll himself away back into the missile to get rid of it.
33 wants a net. Places a ward, but already Optic Gaming have backed out. Now 4 heroes are up here. Abed has joined the party.
Yeah, he's able to clean out this stack as well. There's about a triple stack here.
Podcast's like, no, stop it. Go away.
So
that was for me.
That's a big amount of gold going the way of Abed. They even get the torrent onto Pycat on the way out for the extra sort of BM. As Pycat can only stand at the side and watch. Straight back towards mid Abed. Of course, after the phase, going straight for that armlet.
Oh, net, top lane. Rubik taking quite a bit of damage.
Can they finish him off? They're diving in here. They're both getting low, though. The counterplay is being... Master to find.
And we'll see how 33 wants to do his Beastmaster. The Universe build, as we've seen, is Shadow. And 33 has, I believe, a Necro. No, never mind. Doesn't have anything yet. Just sitting on 1280 gold. But they can afford to play very greedy. I mean, you've got a Caudle. They've been stacking like crazy on the side of Dire. And now another stack being claimed by Caudle and Beastmaster in this eastern camp.
PPD. He's managed to find himself level 6. We'll go for the quick steal.
He's got Rage. He can X out of it.
Easy.
Easy. Definitely a much softer Kunkka than we've seen from previous matches from Abed. He's still working his way to that armlet. And the last time we saw this Kunkka, he went for a Halberd second item, but that was a whole bunch of different decisions, and now X comes out on 33.
Yeah, they're going to turn. They have the boat coming in onto 33. 33 gets caught in the combo, pops the Fairy Fire, trying to keep his distance. Could he actually get himself out of this one? He's heading into the tree line with the backup. 33 is going to be able to get out of there, goes into the trees, TP's away. The backup from Optic enough to make sure that they can get their Beastmaster out of that combo and back to the base, back to safety.
I'm actually kind of surprised that he TP'd out. He was able to get out, and he's had Roar and Mana for the entire time. And CCNC's Lena's rotated. He has Laguna Blade ready to go, but he is pretty high net worth on this Beastmaster, to be fair. Actually, no, he's not. He's 5th lowest. Well, whatever.
It's very close,
very
sort
close.
of amongst the top
everyone's
6.
Tied for that placement as now Telekinesis on the mid lane.
They've got the combo perfectly down as they burst Adam.
Buys out his Tranquil Boots before he dies, at least.
Universe has got his first Javelin done for the game, so we'll start to see how much of an impact he can have on this Pango. Game 1, it was pretty good. He got this good start, these early items, and was able to do quite a lot in terms of disrupting Optic Gaming with his rotations.
Yeah, and the potential to be irritating as Fnatic, this game is very, very high. Surprisingly, Envy is going for the Armlet build as opposed to the Radiance build, which we see so frequently. But
yeah, that is a bit of a change-up.
Yeah, and I guess part of the reason is because really the only person who will get affected by the Radiance burn is going to be the Gyrocopter. Lena's range is probably a little bit too high that she won't get burned, but even like the Solar Crest would I mean, I don't know.
I mean, one of the reasons why I think the armlet could be so good for the lifesteal of this game is because you are playing with a Kunkka in your lineup. So
if you get a blink dagger,
you are going to get that run buff.
You are, that's true.
So there's that extra sort of chance to play around with the armlet, which is going to be super good against sort of the magical burst that.
But at the same time, whenever you have
has.
the run buff and being able to survive for so long with Radiance Burn is valuable, as now PPD gets X'd up, does not have Rage anymore, gets killed by the boat, and meanwhile, or not yet, gets killed by Tidebringer, and meanwhile the bot lane invasion.
Yeah, TPs are coming in to try and back up Envy. Can they kill Envy in time? They have the Roar, Optic claim one, but now looking for the counterplay. They'll get out the Ice Blast. DJ onto Pycat. Pycat's picked up a couple. He's trying to get himself away, but here comes Universe rolling in. Has the Rolling Thunder, the Shield Crash as well. They'll take down Pycat. 33 will actually be able to cut down DJ as well on the back of it, but Abed, he's got the control, brings him in. He does have the double damage. He's affected by the blinding light for now, so can't grab the punch. Oh, he does it with style.
Very well played. Abed waits for the blinding light debuff to time out, and then looks for the creep, cleaves off of it with that double damage rune, and finishes off the Beastmaster.
Very nice indeed from
But
Abed.
Lina wants to get recalled in. Abed is still farming here.
Ooh, that blinding light as well, popping him back into the range of PPD. They've got the chain stun. Have they got enough? It certainly looks to be that they have, as they will punish Abed. Quick heads-up play from Zai, bringing CCNC into the lane and getting that counter kill onto Abed.
And now another recall. They bring Pycat into this bot lane after he respawns, and they're going to be able to just claim a tower off of this, most likely. Beastmaster is still back at the base, and Spirit Form has timed out now, so instead 33 is going to head over to the mid lane, which has been claimed. And CCNC is just going to solo push bot. The Fnatic are smoked.
Let's see if they can close the gap. Pycat will be the juicy kill. They were able to kill him after he overextended down bottom before. Can they get the catch on him again? He's already backing away, Adam.
They've got Song.
Can look for the setup onto 33. It is a pretty beefy Beastmaster, but probably not beefy enough to deal with this amount of heroes surrounding him. 5 heroes collapse onto 33. And are able to catch out the Beastmaster.
And it doesn't look like Kunkka's going to go blink. Instead, he's going to go crit. So Envy and this Armlet are going to have to find kills by themselves or jumping into Pangolier, which I actually don't think I've seen before.
Pango. Yeah, you're at the Pango.
In theory, it sounds great.
Incredibly mobile. And one of those heroes that once you're in the Rolling Thunder, it's very hard to sort of stop him from closing the gap. You know, each and every time, Universe is going to be able to get on top of you. Farm overall, as we can see, Pycat still leading the net worth with CCNC close behind. It's that overall 3k lead for Optic, but Fnatic certainly showing us that they've got this team fight potential. Sort of the setup, the song into the Rolling Thunder, Ice Blast. They do have ways to burst down Optic Gaming's cores at this stage.
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I like the role switch of giving DJ more support-oriented heroes, but with the knowledge that he's a greedier player, is that heroes like Ancient Apparition are obviously oftentimes just like, they're there for Ice Blast, and they're not really expected to get very many items. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game goes later, DJ may work his way to an Aghanim Scepter, which could be very valuable, especially since oftentimes we see these Gyrocopters go for Satanic and ultra late game and stuff like that. But whatever the case, we'll see what DJ is able to do on this Ancient Apparition, because right now, Adam is playing far better.
Can CCNC get away with this play? It would have been a tricky one. I wonder if he was going to try for the Light Strike from
yeah, he would have had a Light Strike from Fog.
Yeah, it would have been pretty hard to do. And indeed, he'll just show himself, start pushing the lane back out as Envy will retreat.
He went for the damage talent as opposed to the cast range talent on Lina as well. But he's going for the Shadow Blade. This is similar to his previous build last time he played Lina on CCNC in this tournament. Afterwards, he went for a Pike. I asked him about it. He said, I felt like it. And I was like, great. I've learned so much. So we'll see what he goes for this time. But I do think it's in his best interest to go right-click oriented, especially seeing as how Envy is not going to be going for that Solar Crest build. So all the right-clicks from Lina, we've seen Lina's turn into very, very potent right-click late-game situation physical damage dealers. Oh man, and Rubik steals X. That's actually super value on PPD.
CCNC. So to be a little bit careful here. He's out on his own in the jungle, and Fnatic are moving over towards his position.
Man, I gotta say, seeing Zai doing stuff like this, it brings back memories of AUI's Coddle at TI, where he was just like, he was basically given farm priority. He was just like, go get this Aghanim Scepter in the jungle. We'll hold down the fort in the meanwhile. Which this time Zai has opted for the Force Staff first, but Aghanim Scepter is next on his list. Greedy Fives are making a comeback. Everyone's sleeping on it. Fnatic are kind of bringing it back potentially with this DJ Adam roll swap, but looks like Optic can dance that as well.
Overall, though, during these passive points of this game, it is benefiting Optic Gaming. They're just able to farm up the map a little bit better than Fnatic's heroes can.
Yeah, especially if they can go for invasions like this. Is now Smoke Up. Rolling Thunder activated to find CC&C.
They know he's around, down it.
The rest of his team's coming.
They will get the bounce back onto him. He's going to be able to use himself up, but he's already been hit by the Ice Blast debuff. He will fall. The question is, can Optic Gaming find anything in return? Cooldown is going to be dodged by Fnatic as they keep the distance. They've lost Adam. We're not going to see anyone else go down. They get the trap onto MV, but Optic understandably a little bit hesitant about chasing this. And indeed, Abed, he's got the catch. He's looking for the setup. MV can't quite close the gap, though. So Optic will be able to get themselves away. It will just be the 1-for-1, but Fnatic, the happier ones, as they do kill off CC&C.
Man, Nerves of Steel and Gyrocopter does not activate his BKB. I mean, Abed was pump faking his cast animations, but none of them went all the way through, and Pycat recognized that. He was just like, this is a bluff, X, you're not actually going to bring me in, because I'm going to activate my BKB and take this full fight. Which is a very, very early aggressive build from Pycat, and not the way that we usually see with like Sange and Yasha. First item BKB,
BKB
on a Gyrocopter.
Into Butterfly.
Who had basically free farm. He's top net worth right now. But hey.
I mean, if he gets a good time, I mean, at this pace he will as well. He's going to get a good time on the Butterfly. CC&C is able